Today I'll present the movie Batman Begins from Final Presentation. To begin with, the movie was itself was released in 2005 and was directed by Christopher Nolan. It's the first part of the trilogy named The Dark Knight, and it's often regarded as the best superhero series by fans across the globe, including me. The movie itself is the origin story of Bruce Wayne that goes by the name of Batman throughout the series. It features Christian Bale, Michael Caine, Liam Neeson, Katie Holmes, Morgan Freeman, among other renowned stars. The movie features the heroic journey of a young Bruce Wayne and his inner conflict that follows the death of his parents by a mugger in the crime and corruption ridden city of Gotham. It later follows his heroic journey to the Far East, where he struggles to discover himself and ends up learning martial arts that helps him when he decides to return to his hometown. As a symbol to defeat the darkness that has grappled it, he chooses the name Batman in his fight against the Bat because of his fear of bats, and takes the help of his butler Alfred and a security expert from his family owned Bruce Enterprises to take over the crime lords and to save his city from the destruction planned by the League of Shadows and his mentor, Ra's al Ghul. He plans to destroy it because he and the League of Shadows think that the city has rotten to an extent that it cannot reverse the damage. To explain why I chose the movie, I have personally been a huge fan of the trilogy ever since I was a child and was always intrigued by the amazing storyline and the character development of Bruce Wayne. Bruce didn't have the easiest childhood, and watching his parent being killed in front of him always gave me goosebumps. The movie is a pinnacle in superhero movies, and as a fan of the DC Cinematic Universe, Batman Begins remains my favorite superhero movie of all time. The movie has a great cast. Bale is an amazing Batman, and characters such as the Butler and Commissioner Gordon are played by legendary actors Michael Caine and Morgan Freeman. All the characters in the movies are on point, and the cinematography and the screenplay is commendable. And to talk about the scene, it happened somewhere in the Far East because that's where Bruce had gone to look after his own life, to rethink the decision that he had made, and it occurs during the daytime somewhere in the mountains. During the scene, Russell claims that Bruce should act as an executioner and he should kill the murderer since the murderer has been mocking the society's laws, but still Bruce decides not to obey him. And he claims that he can't take the justice into his own hand and he'll return to Gotham, but he would fight Batman instead of being one of them. The scene itself happens as Bruce decides to take the sword to seemingly kill the man, but instead he throws a burning piece of it towards a place where all the ammunition in the building were stored and they catch fire, and the whole complex of the League of Shadows is thus burned down. As he fights with Russ and his army, uh, the whole complex falls down. To talk about how the scene undergoes and the angles and the various types of editing that it uses, I'll go for it now. The scene uses a linear structure and it has a lot of shots and shot angles. It's really diverse and is a really great shot. When Bruce and Ra's al Ghul discuss the execution, the scene is shot as a medium close-up, in which we can see how Bruce is reacting and how Ra's al Ghul and Henry are talking to him. With the medium close-up, we can see how they all want to interact with each and other, and they talk to themselves. The discussion is shot at an eye level because that's how we see that the characters are talking and they're having a good discussion with each other. Later, as the discussion ends and the building has caught fire, we can see several high and low angle shots of Bruce. Uh, these shots are usually taken when Bruce fights with Russell Gull, and they and the high and the low level shots sometimes show that Bruce is vulnerable, and other times shows that he's the person in authority, since he's trying to win over Ra's al Ghul and defeat everything that Russell Gould stands for. Some they're also seen from a side view that gives us as an audience a perspective that we're the audience and we need to see the scene and we're just observing it. And also a few of the scenes can be seen from the side or from a far off view, with which we can understand how the building is burning down or whatever is going throughout the scene. Finally, as Russell Gould gets buried down under the debris, we can see him through a top shot, which shows that Russell Gould doesn't have power anymore and he's really vulnerable at the moment. Finally, when Bruce decides to save Henry Gerard, the scene is again shown from a bird's eye view that shows Bruce's authority, and it shows that Henry was the one that's vulnerable during the scene. After Bruce decides to save Henry, we can see them that they fall off the building and they come towards the end of a cliff and they're about to fall down. In this scene, a high level shot is used and we see the whole of the place through a really high perspective. We can see that it's a cliff and it's a mountain and both of them are about to fall down and they might well even die. And that's why a bird's eye perspective is used in this scene, in this frame. Finally, as the scene ends, Bruce meets Alfred, and it's also seen through a long shot. And we can see that Alfred had come using Bruce Enterprises for private jet, and as Bruce boards the jet with Butler, they talk with each other, they have a discussion, and it's again shot at eye level that shows that both of them are equal and they're having a discussion. And that's the whole of the scene, and that's how it's taken and the shots and angle that were used. That's it, and thank you so much for the opportunity to speak about it, and have a great time and take care of yourself. Thanks, ma'am.